Hello, welcome back to this Challenger 2 build, part 4. We're in the spray booth where I'm doing some grey primer, the Halfords primer. So basically just priming everything. Then I'll start with the first coat of black. I'll start doing the highlighting with the black. This is also a black primer. Just making sure I highlight all the bits and pieces, all the cracks and edges and so on. So now I'm doing the first coat of NATO green. Obviously, yes, I've speeded up the video slightly so we can move through this quickly. I was actually spraying another vehicle whilst I was spraying this, so I know I should be wearing gloves. So now I'm spraying a varnish all over the vehicle. For some reason I'm spraying the dozer, even though I didn't use it in the end, but I'm doing it a rust colour. I will be using it on something else. Probably see this video again somewhere else. So now I'm applying a chipping effect solution, and then I'm applying a faded olive all over the vehicle to give it that sort of faded look. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the decals on the Challenger 2. It seems pretty straightforward, so let's do this. Just taking the bar roller off because I didn't glue it. Yep, I did put them in them ones in the wrong place, but it's alright. I moved them before they dried, so it's good that I noticed it before. This decal here saying have it, Heavy. Little desert rat, which goes on the little door, which I have open. Okay, so that's the turret. So after the little warning sign, I think it says warning. No, do not touch the exhaust. Bit of health and safety. So yeah, that's all the decals done for the Challenger. So now I'm applying some line panel wash. I believe it's dark green line panel wash. I had to not do any talking during this recording part of the video because there was some music playing next door. But yeah, basically I'm just using a bit of line panel wash, highlighting all the areas. Okay, I've been painting some of the black bits. Let's zoom in a bit, see if we can sort of around the commander's hatch, because this is like a rubber thing. The caps on the smoke chargers, but anyway. What I'm going to do is because this is all black rubber as well, but it's all roughly painted. Okay, with the all the black bits done, I'm just going to add a bit of some of this stuff. This way around, I've used this technique before in other builds. Basically what it does, it gives it a kind of a dirty looking effect. Okay, right now what I'm going to do is, I've already done the lights, as you can see, but I just need to do a little bit more red. So yeah, you've got your normal Tamiya clear red. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding this front bit of armour. I finally decided I'm going to be adding the front armour rather than the dozer blade, which I'm actually going to be using. The dozer blade, which I'm actually going to be using on something else. Even though it would look pretty good with the dozer blade on there. I've decided I'm going to be using that for something else. So I'm going to be going for this front Armour mantlet. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of steel just where that paint's worn away. Right. Okay, for this next bit, I'm going to have to remove all the wheels, which I should have done before I started filming. Ah, seems I've got some bits to stick back on again. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some pigment, but I'm getting pretty low at pigment fix, and as this is only the underneath, I'll be using some European dust. I thought I would use, just to fix the pigment in place, some PVC glue and some water with a bit of wash nut liquid. Because I've never used this technique before, it'd be ideal for the underneath, because the side arm's all going to go on anyway, so it's going to be hard to see. So basically I'll put a layer of this on. So I'm going to be using European dust. So it appears this technique actually does work. This is like I said, I've never tried this technique before, but yeah, it works. You seem to, if you apply the wet to the bits, where you don't want the pigment to be too heavy, just like if you're applying pigment fix, I suppose. Okay, it seems to be running a bit long, so I'm going to stop it here and then come back to it in a minute. Okay, so I'm still doing this dirtying up technique, which I've kind of invented. I think I've invented it. I don't know if I've not seen anyone else do this with the PVC glue, and it probably is quite common. But basically, I'm using the PVC glue as a pigment fix. Now we've moved on to the tracks. But but it's actually having quite a surprising effect, because it's not only is it working perfectly fine, but it's also, I don't know if you can see, it's also leaving, I don't know if it's because the washing up liquid in it, but it's also leaving like marks like it's been through water already, which is quite cool. Yeah, that's a good example. I don't know if you can actually see that. No. Don't know if I can zoom in. Yeah, there you go. You can see it looks like little marks, which is quite a cool technique. Didn't know that was going to happen. So this is why I like working with pigments, because pigments, they act differently to paint, but you can kind of use it. You can kind of use them as paint. Oh, by the way, I've painted these tracks. First of all, primed them with a rust colour, and then I've painted them with a black colour. So I'm not going onto the roller, I'm going onto effectively a primer coat. So I primed it with rust, and then I primed it with a black primer. So what I'm going to do now is rub it on there a bit. Okay, now I'm just adding a still colour. Not that you're going to see the tracks much, because this has got loads of side armour and so on. But just in case someone is looking. Okay, I'm going to be adding some track wash. Before then, I'm just going to just go over it with the Okay, now what I'm doing, because I'm not really happy with this big gap. I don't know if you can see, but there's a gap there. Not that you'd be able to see it, but yeah. But you could use this the terrain mud. To fill any gaps and things like that. push it into the edges and so on, leaving clumps of mud. Now for my favourite, the fresh mud effect. The European dust again. Okay, I fitted the tracks. I didn't record it, not because I didn't want to, because I literally forgot to press record. That went on perfectly alright, to be fair. And yeah, looking good. I had to put a bit of slack in there to tighten them up. Doesn't matter because the side arm was going on, so you won't be able to see any of this top bit. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. So now I'm going to be attaching the side armour, but I've just got to do a little bit more dirtying up on the side armour before. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. One thing I will do, I will put a bit more black on the rubber bits of the track, even though it's looking pretty good. Okay, join me in a bit. Okay, right, so before I put the side on, I want to do a bit of put on a bit of dark streaking. Not really streaking in this case. What I'm going to do is just put a bit of staining around where the nuts and bolts are, because they would have put, if you ever notice on the real things, they do collect a little bit of grease. Around where these the bolts are on, because this is heavily greased, this area, because obviously the wheels need to go around. Okay, now what I'm doing is just going over bits of it with a pencil. Especially on the top of those nuts. Not that anyone's going to be looking down there, hopefully. I'll probably go over it again later once I see what I could see with the side armour on. Let's see if we can get the side armour on then. Okay. Typical. I think I'm going to use super glue actually. Okay, now just getting this, doing the wire, going over it with a pencil, making it look like wire. Hoping I've got the measurements right. seems the measurements were wrong, but well, it doesn't look too bad. Well, remember the jerry cans that I left off? Oh, it's time to put them in. Now it'll be time to attach these. Okay, probably not the best angle to be doing the set. I've already attached that bit of bar armour that side, so I'm just attaching the last bit of bar armour on this side. Looks about right. It looks right. Just need to do a bit of dirtying up on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it done, apart from a few little bits and pieces. Just got to do some dirtying up on it. Attach the aerials. For some reason this has all come undone. Yeah. Right, so I'll let that bit dry. As we wait for that bit to dry, it's gallery time. So yep, please like and subscribe. Join me next time. There will be some more bits and pieces done to this. No doubt I will be doing the base. As you can see, it is on a base. So yeah, there will be some little extra bits and pieces. More about that later. Anyway, bye for now.